off. But we're going to get into our second series of the day here. Will be Liquid versus Dignitas. This is sure to be a good one as we get onto Tomb of the Spider Queen to start things off. All right, spawning over to the left-hand side in the blue, it will be Lucifron going to be playing on Muradin. We're going to have Grand Paquette here on Malfurion. Vortex will be playing Arena. Black Scorp is on Arthas. And then we have Falcon going to be playing over here on the Jaina. Then to the right-hand side, we have Team Dignitas with ADRD on Zagara, Bakery is on Karazim, Zarmani is on Johanna, Arthuro is going to be on Leoric, and finally Snitch is on Zeratul. He did say he was going to get to play it a lot.
Yeah, and he did say he likes Regen Master, and went for that as well here. A Zeratul that we've seen has changed a lot. Rather than going for, you know, the all-nuke build nowadays, definitely pick different talents than what you used to. Seasoned Marksman on the Rainer.
Yep. It's a good choice, very good choice. We'll be seeing him building up the auto attack damage. It's one of the best maps for it because you do end up going up against so many extra minions with the Web Weavers spawning as many as they do throughout the entire game. So let's see how this is going to play out. Already we're seeing Dignitas rotating between mid lane and top lane. So they're really trying to farm up someone like Snitch here with those regen globes and get him very, very tanky for later on.
Yeah, Falcon's going to have to be really careful top, especially when he goes and picks up those gems, because with the Jaina, you don't have any escape. If you get jumped by 3 heroes, you're going to die almost every single time. Yeah. So he's going to have to play it really, really safe. And we see Snitch actually top, kind of waiting.
Still rotating on around. And while all this is getting going, it's important to talk about the map, right? We're collecting gems. We're getting in those turning points. We're summoning the Web Weavers. Once you've turned in enough gems that you can see down to the bottom right-hand corner, and those Web Weavers will push very, very hard for you in these lanes. It's very, very important that you control these turning points, though. And that's something that ADRD, with these creep tumors, is already starting to do here for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, if we look at both compositions, and especially, you know, thinking on the head-to-head here, it feels like Dignitas might have a slight edge with this, but Liquids, they are very, very good at taking fights and winning them. In the past, we've seen them really pull off miracles in some of these fights and win some of the cleanest ones, I think, in the history of the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about engaging, but Zagara gets caught here.
Oh, ADRD, very, very close.
I guess they were afraid they would get caught here at the top, so the Falcon, in this case, will just pull back.
Very, very careful there, making sure that they don't get counter-rotated and lose 2 for 1. It's very important here. ADRD just stretching out into that lane once again. They are accounting for every hero right now, so they know where they are. So ADRD is more than happy to just sit around back in lane.
Ooh, Lucifron is getting cornered here a little bit. He's going to dwarf toss out of there.
Nice escape, nice escape. He is okay, and level 4s do end up hitting. It's going to be almost full condemn build by the looks of things for the Johanna here on the other side, here for Team Dignitas.
Black Scorp on a Warrior, by the way. You know, I've talked about how Liquid, they haven't had as much success when he was on a Warrior in the past. But I guess with the current meta and with Zeratul being banned almost all the time, it's not too surprising that he ended up on one of those.
Still a little bit of an engagement down towards the bottom here. Ooh. As Black Scorp's coming in from the back. He didn't hit anybody with his Howling Blast, though, so he's going to have to back on out here for a moment. I don't think they can really continue on there. They don't have enough lockdown here to Team Liquid.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Well, why did he Howling Blast there?
Not sure. I think he may have pressed Alt Howling Blast. It was on top of him, so maybe he was a little bit scared of Zeratul actually swinging on around to do some damage towards him. But regardless, at the moment, we're seeing pretty even in terms of the gem consumption at the moment here. Nobody's really lost any at this point.
Yeah, focused attack here on level 4 for the Zeratul, so still pretty standard. Probably going to be first aid on level 7 as well to make sure he has a lot of hit points, can come back into fights a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's a slow and steady start here for both of these teams, just trying to wrestle with one another. Zarmani is just going to back on out towards the bottom, and he should be fine.
And on this map, the first turn-in being 50 gems, you don't usually try to turn in for 3 or 4 or even 5 gems. You wait until you have 10 plus, sometimes 15, and then you try and go for it. And in this case, we're going to see Dignitas going for the first few gems being turned in here with the Zeratul turning in 11.
Ooh. Bakery in a lot of trouble. He will be first blood. He goes down. Really good pickup there. Good Howling Blast into the roots as well. And that's uncharacteristic.
There was nothing to escape to here for the Karazim. And in this case, Liquid. This might be their cue to try and go for a full turn in here because they've got quite a few gems.
Yes, they do. And they have a little bit of wiggle room. But still, we're seeing Team Dignitas controlling these points well. Falcon's going to get a little bit of damage done to him. But Snitch Will be totally fine from there. Singularity Spike goes off at the very end, and Zarmany gets out towards the bottom.
Great dodge here on the stun. Athero Angel not quite trying to turn in here himself. He's going to cover the rest of his team. ADRD is going to turn in 20 gems here. And if Athero Angel turns in himself, that's going to be the first web weavers here entering the game for Team Dignitas.
Not too bad, not too bad. Still playing it out quite slowly. That's an alright stun onto Arthuro, but he's Leoric, so he will be totally fine in getting out. He took Hardened Bones at level 4, and he's actually taken, I think it's Ghastly Reach. Yes, it is, at level 7. So he could technically couple that up with Renewed Swing later on at level 16.
Yeah, Frost Armor on the Jaina here is really going to help in countering the Zeratul.
Yeah, that's true. That's something that we see a lot on Jaina's level 7 to help specifically against Zeratul. And basically what that does is it slows down his attack speed and reduces the damage when you're actually going up against something like Zeratul, who's attacking very fast against you there. So that's something that you almost only see against Zeratul there on Jaina's.
Arthas almost got caught here at the bottom, but was able to pull back, tap. Vortex is going to be caught though.
Yeah, that's the thing, that's the thing. I mean, like, Jaina's taken that, sure, then you can start focusing on Vortex, and if he doesn't have his adrenaline boost off cooldown, then he could take big, big damage. Falcon, though, is trying to get a turn up towards the top, gets denied.
Yeah, that was just on time here from the Zagara. And right now, with both of these teams being so close to a full turn in it, I think we might have a fight here to try and see who can get it, unless one of the team kind of backs down.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where it's scary contention.
He's got exactly enough.
This is perfect. He can't be denied. Snitch is not going to be able to get there in time. Even a Moonfire actually almost knocked Snitch off his mount there. So, but they do get the turn in, and that's going to be the first Web Weavers going over to Team Dignitas, Team Liquid. I shouldn't say team. I really shouldn't say team. I'm just going to go with Liquid and Dignitas.
I won't blame you if you do, Kaidos.
I'm so used to calling them Bob, it's hard to get used to Dignitas,
yeah.
But there you go.
Bob question mark. Even.
Yeah.
And in this case, Liquid having that going in their favor. They're going to be pushing here with 5 in mids against 5 from Dignitas. Interesting.
Already Zarmany moves in there with it condemned, trying to clean things up. That might be his death, though. No, he's able to get out there. Iron Skin was popped, so he got himself a little bit of shields whilst he keeps himself alive. This is a strong push coming out from them, but they're holding on strong. But the problem is that the Web Weavers on the other lanes are gone uncontested at the moment.
Yeah, Snitch took a lot of damage here, had to pop first aids. Also really counting on his regen master here to keep him in the game. Liquid's closing in on level 10 a little bit faster than Dignitas is right now.
And they did a really good job, for the most part, to continue keeping them in the mid lane and slowing down the cleaning up of the other 2 Web Weavers up towards the top. But Dignitas, in turn, respected that pretty well and only split off ADRD as well as Johanna to clean those up. So they only lost the towers, but you're right, level 10 is in place.
Yeah, they're trying to go for an engagement here. It's Team Liquid, or at least prevent the turn in here. Athero Angel, he's got enough, but Liquid are going to be covering here these turning points, guarding them with their lives.
And they got to be so careful about the potential lockdown now from Ring of Frost that is available here to Team Liquid. Luciferon's moved in towards the back here, putting some pressure onto ADRD. But at the same time, there's so much AoE damage that we could see out of Team Liquid if they're able to get a fight. But level 10s have now hit here for Dignitas as well.
Yeah, Divine Palm here was picked. Going to be very important. Bless Shield as well, and here we go.
Oh, Arthuro taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to have to march with the Black King out of there for a moment, but he's still quite low. Has to actually Wraithwalk out of there. They managed to lock up Arthas, though. He's all the way in the thick of things. Even the Maw is able to lock down quite a few of them. They're keeping them isolated out for so long. Great Divine Palm saves Bakery there for a moment. Luciferon and Vortex took big damage during all of that. It's been a divide and conquer fight, and already Dignitas take a fantastic engagement.
Yeah, Snitch delaying the Void Prison for a very long time here and catching 2 heroes that were trapped in it. As soon as it ended, it's going to be a turn in here right behind this from Team Dignitas. And Liquid, even though they got the first turn in, it didn't really matter because Dignitas, they waited for a fight to finally come up. They picked their spots, and eventually they win a huge team fight here. That's going to put them ahead in experience.
They're not afraid of just blowing up one of their warriors that gets in the thick of things. And Black Scorp is usually that guy here in recent times that, you know, Team Liquid have had a bit of a harder time kind of adjusting to this meta, this double warrior meta, and not going for the melee assassins, but they try and lock down Zagara there to start things off. Good counter-attack, ultimately blowing up Zagara there with a little bit of extra AoE, and they will clean up that Web Weaver as well. So that's a kind of a feather in their cap to keep them in this phase of the game.
Divine Palm wasn't available just yet here, sadly. Black Scorp's getting jumped on top of it. He's going to go down, I think, at top here. Wow.
Good pickup. Not too bad at all. 1 for 1 in the end. Was trying to see the rotation come out from Team Liquid.
Oh, Grandpa getting Almost got caught here.
quite
Liquid's going to
far.
rotate. They want a 4-on-4 here at the top.
That's a lot of damage going on to Zarmany, though. There's the Ring of Frost as well. The palm hits, though, straight away as he's about to die off there. Condemn just bring in Lucifron there for a moment, but Zarmany's still going to end up dying if he's not careful. He's very, very low. They managed to keep him alive. The stun goes through, but doesn't manage to catch him. Even with Pierce, doesn't manage to get the kill.
And he has so many gems as well here. Void Prison just came back up here for Snitch if he wants to use that, but not even going to need that. The Web Weavers, actually, they're still the one at the bottom here pushing in. And both teams, they still got quite a few gems here to work with. In particular, Dignitas, oh my god, they got so many gems.
And this is the big problem that I'm going to see here for Team Liquid moving forwards, is that all of these fights are so condensed that going up against a healer like Karasim is going to be extremely difficult. His heal is going to be healing so many targets against a heavy AoE comp that we're seeing here, aside from the auto attacks of Reyna.
Could be a full turn in here for Dignitas, because they've got over 90 gems in total. They only need 55 to get a full turn in, and they're one talent ahead.
Yeah.
If Liquid try to slow them down, if they try to fight, they're going to be in trouble here.
That's
they
right.
can't risk it right now.
Yeah, what have we got? We've got Burning Rage, Relentless, and there's the Web Weavers actually descending. Little Crushing Hope with Wormhole, and finally we have Mutalisk here as well for Dignitas. And right now, they're in the comfort zone. They've said on multiple occasions in the past that this is one of the maps that they feel most comfortable on here in the European scene.
And it's actually, I mean, I feel when you're confident on this map, you're basically saying we're better than everybody, because this is one of the most, I guess, important maps in terms of decision-making, being able to make stuff happen, and just play, you know, have a clear game plan. Just outplay your opponent straight up.
Web Weaver going to be cleaned up pretty quickly in mid. The one towards the bottom already has a 4, but it's where they're focusing up towards the top that is most important. Getting themselves that experience lead even further, because right now, as much as they can take engagements between now and level 20, it's all about getting to 20 first.
Yeah.
Making sure that they can really put themselves in a big, big power position to eventually try and snowball off to something like a boss, etc.
Level 13 here comes in for Team Liquid finally, and they try and go for an engagement straight away. Leoric goes very, very low on hit points.
If he'd have died, 31 gems having gone down in that kind of position, Team Liquid could have zoned that out really heavily and really caused problems there for them, despite, you know, needing to catch up anyway.
I think Arthas having Relentless here is definitely going to be nice with the improved ice block as well for Jaina on level 13, and Giant Killer on Raynor, looking to try and do a lot of damage here to, I guess, whoever's in ranged. Are they actually going for this?
This is ambitious, because I think it's been revealed. I think they may have seen them actually heading up towards here. They're cleaning up this creep slowly, and they're looking to try and counter-engage. I don't think they read into it properly.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily read into it properly, but Dignitas was giving them the respect enough after seeing them moving through the creep to just
Lucifron's turning in. Oh, he actually interrupts to try and go for the fight here instead. Level 15 against 13.
We're seeing the match of the Black King. The ice block has been popped there by Jaina to keep her alive while all of that's going on. Wraithwalk's going to come out here to try and keep Leoric alive. He's still very low, though. He's going to drop 31 gems if they get the follow-up kill. Palm, though, will be able to save Athero, but I'm not sure if they have much more to save him, as he is going to go down. That's a lot of AoE damage going down onto this right-hand side. The fight goes catastrophically there for Dignitas.
Yeah, Liquid with a fantastic fight themselves. Yeah, great positioning. Tranquility was popped exactly on time to make sure that everybody was saved. And now they're going to be going for the full turn in themselves. With Lucifron having so many gems. Zagara gets sniped.
Just caught on the very edge of that Howling Blast. Perfect move there for Blackscorp to be able to catch that. And that is not only the Web Weavers about to push, but also them taking down the fort up towards the top already.
All lanes were really pushed here, though, from Dignitas. Liquid needed something like this.
Yeah.
Because all of those lanes were pushed so far. Now they can just spread out, try to soak experience from all 3 lanes, catch back up on experience, which they've already done a fantastic job of.
That's definitely true, and also something to note about that is because the Web Weavers will spawn where your opponent's lane has pushed to. So technically this Web Weaver towards the middle and towards the bottom isn't as effective as it would have been if Team Liquid have had proper control of the map to begin with.
So many gems once again here on both teams. They're going to have enough to go for another turn in here. Whoever could go for it, as level 16 is closing in very rapidly here from both teams. I think Dignitas might just be waiting for that level 16 here to try and engage, but remember the Web Weavers, they need to keep them on mind, they need to try and defend them, because they can do a lot of damage here to those structures, and even Minions wave, and create some good lane pressure to try and help as well with the fight.
You could see Zamani trying to slow down the progression of that push there, even with just Condemn at the front, but the amount of damage he took at the front was quite severe overall, but they do have level 16. This is now definitely a position where they could engage. We already see Rending Cleave being taken here for Snitch, so you could easily come in and do quite a bit of damage if they do want to engage into this, but level 16 has been hit by Team Liquid as well, just in time to make sure that that engage doesn't really happen.
Yeah, Aether Angel with the imposing presence. And Circle of Life here on the Karazim as well. Double imposing presence, actually. Both Leoric and Johanna are going to have it. Can they interrupt Snitch?
To interrupt so all five, that would have been super scary.
And in this case, Liquid being able to get yet another turn in here. It's going to be a fantastic time for them to have this, but they get engaged into.
I tried to throw down the Void Prism onto just one member alone. Can they do enough with that, though? It looks like Blackscop's going to take some big damage. Shield goes down onto him. He's trying to slow down everybody, and he does actually survive during all of that. They blow up Johanna while that's going on. ADRD saved by the palm, but he's going to go down anyway. Blackscop still manages to get out. No, Bakery goes in there with the Radiant Dash, but he sacrifices himself for an Arthur's kill, and that's going to leave them pretty vulnerable in the defense now.
Wow, Blackscop surviving for so long here. Army of the Dead, Death Calling himself, going back into the range of Tranquility here. He won that fight here. He really helped by tanking so much for his team. And Liquid, since they're the Web Weavers coming in, they're going to actually push so far here on every single lane, do so much damage. And that's going to be yet again another experience lead for them.
Yeah, this is very strong. And also the level 16 talent of even just Executioner coming in here for a fully auto-attack Bill Raynor is really, really powerful with an Arthas, really powerful with a Jaina, because they're always slowing down their opponents. So allowing him to have that kind of room with this auto-attack build to go for Executioner at level 16 is really powerful.
Yeah, Stone Skin probably helped a lot as well here on the Arthas earlier in that fight. Sure, he didn't fall too fast, which would have been a disaster actually if it had happened. But in this case, being able to take a keep here, Liquid are going to be in a fantastic position to just clear out those camps, play it safe for now, and then down the line possibly try to go for yet another turn in. Snitch on 69 gems.
All right, and it's looking all right for them. We do see them taking that hard camp towards the middle there, with those bruisers now going to push on through the middle. And they were even, I mean, they were a little bit unaware as to where they were, Dignitas were. So they checked the boss momentarily there, but they were not in that location. So they didn't get anything done for the past minute or so.
Oh, Liquid was chasing really far here. Salmony, they need to be careful. I'm surprised Snitch doesn't try to go at the bottom to get a turn in, but as I say that, he's thinking about it surely.
I mean, the overall goal here for Dignitas is to get a good Void Prism into a good Maw, to isolate two people out, try and blow someone up during all of that. We saw it in one of the first engagements, but since then, it hasn't happened. Well, are they going to be able to find it again? I'm not sure. A little bit of damage goes on to Vortex, not enough to really cause them too much problems, though.
Yeah, he's going to need to be healed here, though. And in this case, seems like the game's slowing down a little bit. Like Dignitas, they're one level behind. They want to make sure they're on same levels, even though they're not going to be one talent behind. And I'm sure they would love to turn in, but Liquid, knowing that, they're just hiding a little bit everywhere. Look at this at the bottom. Snitch, he's trying to go for it. Blackscorp's going to Howling Blast on time, possibly. Just destroyed.
Still just got to be a little bit careful there. You can pop Iron Skin all you want here as Johanna to tank up some damage, but if you leave yourself susceptible to CC later on whilst you're trying to retreat out, that could be bad news bears, but Johanna stays alive for now.
Liquid, they're just trying to buy time, make sure that there is never a turn in here from Dignitas until they finally themselves get their own turn in. They know that they're heading experience. Getting level 20 earlier would mean for sure that they can get the turn in or that they would win the team fight if Dignitas try to stop them from doing it. So they're doing this great.
Yeah, it will be Northern Exposure as well now that I noticed that for them. And Blackscorp just chilling out. Where was he?
Just covering that turning point, making sure that nobody can access that. And Liquid has done that so well. Oh my god, they stayed across those two turning points perfectly.
Team Liquid was probably the beginning of the control in Tomb of the Spider Queen when you look at the EU meta. For a long time, they had really strong masterful position on this map. So this is, for me, when I watch this match on Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's two of the very best in Europe playing on this map.
And Dignitas getting a little bit sick of it here. They choose to go for the fight before Liquid can get that level 20.
There's the Void Prism trying to lock down 2 members. Black Scorp's going to walk straight back into that, though. So despite them trying to blow him up, it wasn't able to follow it up at all. There's the Ring of Frost there, and actually trying to lock them down with that more. Actually looking for the disengage potentially here. It was trying to block them out for a little bit longer, but Zeratul going to end up going down. They don't find the combination they need to.
Look at how many gems he had. That was so many gems. He had 69 in total. That's a huge loss here for Dignitas.
Yeah, massive.
And from their Liquid, they're soon, I think, going to have enough gems of their own here to go for a turn-in, but they can even go for the boss. With Zeratul being down for this long, they're hesitating. I think they might not go for it.
That was a really desperate position for them. You could see it. I mean, with how they used the Void Prism, not exactly the perfect one, how the Maw was used, there is a defensive nature there from Dignitas, so not the best of positions, and now that means they give up a boss for that. Yeah. That's Team Liquid is looking really on form here in this first game.
And behind this, having lost as many gems as they did, Dignitas are not going to have enough to go for a turn-in themselves. That boss is going to be pushing in. And with the wall already being done at the top lane here, I think that keep is, I mean, if they push with it, surely going to go down.
Zamni was pushing out the mid lane, and he's just going to base on out. They're trying to scramble to get to level 20 as quickly as possible.
That's another turn-in. They had exactly enough as well here with Black Scorp turning in the last 12. Liquids. A lot of people underestimate them. They're showing here once again that they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, boss as well as Web Weavers pushing in. This is going to be difficult, especially if they protect the boss long enough for the Web Weaver to come out to this location as well. Keeper's going to be taking a lot of damage. At the moment, Dignitas really up against the wall here.
Literally. Back in their base here, trying to defend against this. That boss still about half hit points left on it.
This could be core. This could definitely be core here unless they do something very, very ultimate. He's going to try and do something with this. They actually dodged the Ring of Frost. The Void Prism's been used defensively to try and save the core here, but Joanna's already been taken down while all of this has been going on. Arthuro, likewise, they can't really find anyone to focus down. They don't have the damage capability to try and burst someone down during all of this, and it's not really going to work out. The core is going to end up falling, and Team Liquid will come out of the gates with the first game